Someone just disrespected you. Right in front of everyone. They laughed at your idea. They cut you off mid-sentence. They dismissed you like you were nothing. And everyone saw it happen. Your heart's racing. Your face is hot. Every instinct is screaming at you to react, to defend yourself, to prove them wrong, to show everyone in the room that you're not weak. But here's the truth, most people never learn. The moment you react, you've already lost. Because disrespect isn't the real problem. Your response is. 500 years ago, Machiavelli watched princes rise and fall based on a single principle. The ones who survived weren't the nicest. They weren't the loudest. They were the ones who understood that respect isn't given. It's taken. But not with force, with calculation. Today, I'm going to show you Machiavelli's actual rule for turning disrespect into absolute obedience. Not tomorrow. Not eventually. Starting with the very next person who tries you. And if you apply this correctly, they'll never disrespect you again. Not because they like you, because they fear what happens when they do. Before we start, I need you to understand something. This video isn't for people who want to be liked. It's for people who refuse to be walked on anymore. If that's you, stay close. Because what comes next separates those who complain about disrespect from those who command respect without saying a word. Let me tell you what happens in that moment when someone disrespects you. Your brain goes into survival mode. Fight or flight kicks in. And because you're not going to physically fight them, your brain chooses the next best option. Words, defense, explanation, confrontation. So you respond. You tell them why they're wrong. You explain why what they said was unfair. You defend your position, your credentials, your worth. You try to make them see that they crossed a line. And while you're doing all that, they're winning. Because here's what Machiavelli understood that you probably don't. When someone disrespects you publicly, they're not trying to hurt you. They're testing you. They're checking to see if you're controllable, if you're predictable, if you're weak. And the second you defend yourself, you've answered all three questions. Yes, yes, yes. Think about it. Strong people don't need to explain their strength. Powerful people don't need to defend their power. Leaders don't need to justify their authority. So when you jump to defend yourself, what message are you sending? That you're uncertain, that you need their validation, that their opinion matters enough to disrupt your composure. That's exactly what they wanted to find out. And now they know. Most people spend their entire lives in this cycle. Someone disrespects them. They react emotionally. They lose credibility. They get disrespected again, over and over, because they never learned the actual rule. Machiavelli once said, "Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception." But he wasn't talking about lying. He was talking about strategy, about letting people defeat themselves while you stay perfectly still. Here's Machiavelli's rule for turning disrespect into obedience. It's simple, it's brutal, and it works every single time. When someone disrespects you, do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just observe them calmly. Let the silence stretch. Let the discomfort build. Don't defend. Don't explain. Don't even acknowledge the disrespect happened. Just watch them. Study them. Let your eyes say what your mouth won't. Most people panic at this. They think silence is weakness. They think not responding is the same as accepting the disrespect. They're wrong. Silence is the most powerful response you have, because it does three things simultaneously. First, it refuses to give them the emotional reaction they wanted. They threw a punch. You didn't flinch. That alone rattles people. They start wondering if maybe they misjudged you, if maybe you're operating on a level they don't understand. Second, it creates social pressure. Everyone in the room feels the tension. They're waiting for you to respond. When you don't, the discomfort falls back on the person who started it. Now they're the one who looks desperate, trying too hard, overplaying their hand. Third, and this is the part people miss, silence makes you unpredictable. And unpredictability is fear. When they can't read you, when they can't anticipate your next move, they start treating you differently, more carefully, more respectfully. Because people who can't be provoked can't be controlled. Let me break down what's actually happening in their brain during your silence. When they disrespect you, they expect a specific pattern. Defense, anger, hurt, explanation. That's what their brain is ready for. That's the script they've run 1,000 times with 1,000 different people. But when you don't follow the script, when you just go quiet and observe, their brain short circuits. They don't have a response programmed for this. So they start filling in the blanks. Why isn't this person reacting? What do they know that I don't? Are they about to do something? Should I be worried? Fear doesn't come from threats. Fear comes from uncertainty. And you've just made yourself completely uncertain. Here's what most people never see. The person who disrespected you is now in a weaker position than before because they revealed their cards. They showed you they're willing to attack. They exposed their insecurity. They broadcast to everyone watching that they felt threatened enough by you to try to diminish you. Meanwhile, you revealed nothing. You stayed composed. You maintained control. You didn't take the bait. Who looks stronger in that scenario? Who has the power? The answer is obvious to everyone in the room, even if they don't say it out loud. But here's where most people mess it up. They stay silent in the moment, which is good. But then they go home and stew about it. They tell their friends. They replay it in their mind. They plan what they should have said. That's ego talking. And ego will destroy everything you just built. The silence only works if you actually mean it. If you genuinely don't care about their opinion, if you're not silently planning revenge or waiting for the perfect moment to strike back. Because if you're still emotionally invested, it shows in your body language, in your energy, in how you interact with them next time. Real indifference is terrifying. Fake indifference is just delayed reaction. So after the moment passes, you continue as if it never happened. You don't avoid them. You don't treat them differently. You don't bring it up later. You genuinely move forward like their disrespect was so insignificant, it didn't even register. That's the psychological hammer. Because now they're confused. Did that not bother them at all? Am I not important enough to even get a reaction? And that question eats at them. Because everyone wants to matter, even if mattering means being disliked. But you just showed them they don't matter enough to disrupt your peace. That realization breaks something in people. And what comes after that breaking is usually obedience. Here's what you'll notice in the days after you apply this rule. The person who disrespected you will do one of three things. Option 1. They'll try again. Harder this time. Because they're desperate to get a reaction. They need to confirm that you're normal, that you're controllable, that they can affect you. When this happens, you do the exact same thing. Nothing. Just observe. Maybe this time with a slight smile, because now it's getting pathetic. After the second failed attempt, they usually stop. Because trying to provoke someone who won't react makes you look obsessed. And nobody wants to look obsessed with someone who clearly doesn't think about them. Option 2. They'll apologize. Not a real apology, a testing apology. Hey, I didn't mean anything by that earlier. They're checking to see if you're still bothered, and if you hold grudges, if they need to worry. Your response here is simple. I know. 2 words. Then change the subject. Don't accept the apology warmly. Don't reject it harshly. Just acknowledge it and move on. This confirms that you genuinely weren't affected. Option 3, they'll start treating you with unusual respect. Almost too much respect. They'll be careful around you. They'll watch what they say. They'll subtly seek your approval in ways they never did before. This is obedience. Not because you demanded it, because they chose it. Because their brain decided that you're someone who operates on a different level. Someone who can't be manipulated with the usual tactics. And once someone's brain categorizes you as higher status, it's extremely difficult for them to see you any other way. But here's the part that Machiavelli really understood. The part that separates tactics from philosophy. This isn't about winning individual battles. It's about establishing a pattern, a reputation, an aura that precedes you into every room. When you consistently refuse to react to disrespect. When you maintain your composure no matter what someone throws at you, people start talking. Not necessarily out loud, but in their minds, in their observations. Don't try that with them. It doesn't work. They don't react. That mental note gets passed around, subconsciously, through social dynamics, through the way people position themselves around you, through the respect that starts appearing without you asking for it. Because here's what people miss. Respect isn't about being feared. It's about being unreadable. When people can't predict you, when they can't manipulate you, when they can't get under your skin, they have no choice but to respect you. Not because they want to, because they have to. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must be like a fox to recognize traps and like a lion to frighten wolves. But what he meant was simpler. Be smart enough to see the game. Be strong enough not to play it. Disrespect is a trap, a test, a game designed to make you reveal yourself. The moment you react, you've shown them exactly who you are and exactly how to control you. But when you stay silent, when you observe without judgment, when you move forward without attachment, you've just shown them something far more powerful, that you can't be controlled, that you operate by rules they don't understand, that their attempts to diminish you only diminish themselves. So next time someone disrespects you, remember this. Your silence is not weakness. Your stillness is not acceptance. Your calm is not indifference. It's strategy. It's power. It's the difference between someone who reacts to the world and someone who shapes it. The person who disrespected you was expecting a fight. Give them nothing. The room was expecting a scene. Give them silence. Your ego was expecting revenge. Give it patience. Because here's what Machiavelli knew. The person who needs to react is always weaker than the person who chooses not to. Disrespect is a test you pass by, not taking it. And once you understand that, once you truly live that, something shifts. People stop testing you because they already know the answer. You're untouchable, not because you're aggressive, because you're unmoved. And there's nothing more terrifying to manipulators than someone who refuses to be manipulated. So ask yourself this. The next time someone disrespects you, are you going to defend yourself and prove you're controllable? Or are you going to stay silent and prove you're not? The choice has always been yours. Most people just never realized they had one. Now you do. Use it carefully. Because once people see you can't be shaken, they'll never try to shake you again. They'll just obey.